I remember last year, obviously I had a locker room to myself, and this year there are like 8 different lockers with women's names on them. So it's like, what's going on? But this is, it's awesome for diversity.
I love being a Latina. I'm very proud. So anything that I can do to help other Latina women get into football or interest the Latino community into football, I would love to be that person.
My name is Jennifer King. I'm assistant running backs coach with the Washington football team.
I'm Natalia Dorantes, coordinator of football programs for the Washington football team.
I fell in love with football at a super young age, like 4 or 5 years old. Started watching football with my dad and going to high school games on Friday nights and just fell in love with it. And I was fortunate enough to start playing tackle football around 22 and played for many years as a quarterback. And when I started getting into football more and more, I knew I wanted to coach. And ultimately, through a lot of hard work and a few other stops, I ended up in the NFL.
I wanted to work in football because I saw how it brings communities, all different types of backgrounds together, and I really appreciated that, especially coming from a Latino household. I'm very grateful to be the first Latina chief of staff in the NFL, but my goal is to make sure that I'm not the last one.
Being the first Black female full-time NFL coach is super special to me, and it's very important to do a good job and just to be a good role model and a symbol of representation. I think it's important to have diversity in football, as it's important to have diversity everywhere. There's so many different points of views and backgrounds, and people bring different ideas to the table that are important. And I think it was interesting to see so many playoff teams last season had women involved on their staff.
Diversity brings in different perspectives, different voices, and it impacts decisions that are made on a daily basis at a high level. I was invited into the Women's Careers in Football Forum, and that's where I met Coach Rivera. It's great to work for someone like him that truly believes in me.
Coach Rivera has been a champion for diversity, ever since I've known him. Obviously, I met him at the forum, and him being at the forum already gave me a little idea that he may be open to having a woman on his staff. So that kind of helped me shoot my shot with him and feel more comfortable just to start that conversation. But when he brought me over, he kind of took me under his wing, as any young assistant would. And he's been very helpful for me in any questions I have. And just watching how he works with his staff and how he works with the team, I think it's been big for my growth also as a coach. There's always, a learning curve when you work at this level. It's so important to do a good job at every little thing you do because the details matter, and ultimately, you win and lose off of the details.
Every day I'm learning and growing in this role, in this industry, in this position. Yes, I don't have all the answers, but I know who I can go to and where I can go to find them and figure it out. That's what it's about. You have to learn, you have to grow, embrace the journey, embrace the mistakes, they're gonna happen. But Coach knows and he accepts them, and we just grow from each mistake.
I think the next step is just for us to continue to grow. Right now, it's not a lot of us, obviously, in the NFL, so I think the next step is for it to become more and more. And, that comes with women gaining more and more knowledge about football and wanting to coach football now that they see that it's possible. I think it's so important for little girls and just kids in general to know that they can do so much more than possibly they even think they can do. They just can put their work in and really strive to be what they want to be. Don't let anyone tell them no.
Doesn't matter what you look like, where you come from, it is possible. If you can see it, you can be it. The biggest piece of advice that I would say is to embrace your journey. Embrace who you are, be true to yourself. I always fall back on my culture, coming from, 2 Mexican immigrants here in this country. Seeing everything that my mom accomplishes with that language barrier just drives me to work harder, to do more, because I just want to make my parents proud.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.